Hola, welcome to the fourth episode of Tales of an Essential Service Provider. Well, I'm wearing a sweater and we're in episode 4, so we're in April, to be exact, the week of April 13th. And weather hasn't changed. It snowed again today. At least I'm not going to a baseball game in the snow. But I'm going to start this week off with some good news. Well, tonight my wife and I are going to have dinner from Roca Accor, not drive-through, but delivery through Caviar from Landtrust National Title. So I want to give a shout out to Landtrust, Joe and Lori and everybody. Thank you very much. What they've done is they've had some of their agents get dinner for them. So my wife is very happy because we don't have to cook and we have some good food that we normally wouldn't have. So that's some good news. So we're going to enjoy our Friday night dinner. So what things am I seeing this week? Well, things that have become bones of contention in a lot of my attorney review letters are the COVID-19 addendums. I think in a past episode we discussed there are two that I'm aware of. One of them is the Main Street Organization COVID-19 Addendum, as well as the Chicago Association of Realtors COVID Addendum. What they basically say is if there are any sort of delays in funding or ways that a buyer cannot get a loan or can't move forward, that the contract is going to be canceled. In my opinion, the Main Street Organization rider is a lot more powerful for buyers, and a lot of attorneys are using the exact language in those riders in their attorney review letters. Well, if I'm representing a seller, that's very worrisome because at this point, essentially, a buyer can basically cancel at the very last minute. Now, they're supposed to act in good faith, but what I've been seeing is everybody's using COVID as their excuse of getting out of contracts. May that be cold feet or any other reason. So we're seeing a lot of battles in attorney review on those. And ultimately, a lot of them are canceling because sellers want to know that, in fact, the buyers are serious about buying their property. But I also understand the other side of it when I represent a buyer, and the buyers are worried that they may get furloughed or things will just take longer because of the backups with all the lenders. Another thing I'm seeing are sale contingencies that are not being met. What that basically means is when people consummate a real estate transaction, at times the buyers still have ownership of their property. And they make the purchase of the new property contingent on the sale of their current property. Well, for a myriad of reasons, one being there isn't a lot of traffic on showings right now, so a lot of people can't meet these obligations, or people are in contract and all of a sudden that gets canceled, so either sale contingencies have been extended or transactions as a whole have completely just fallen apart and canceled. Other things I'm seeing, we had some closings this week where there were sold taxes. So if people don't pay taxes, the county has the right to sell those taxes. And normally what would happen is I would walk across the street, go to the treasurer's office and assessor's office and ask for what's called a estimate of redemption, which basically gives me proof that how much is due. If a tax buyer bought it, how much they're due. I then take that to the title company. We pay it, we escrow them money, and we move forward. Well, the county's city hall is closed, so title companies have been taking, it's called a TI, which stands for title indemnity, and they've been taking, in some of these cases, 1.5 times of the amount due, holding it in escrow, and when they can finally get these estimate redemptions, they will then pay it, and then any remaining balance in that escrow will go back to the seller. So thankfully, it hasn't stopped closings. One thing I wanted to discuss was an unbelievable deal that I actually closed today. I did a remote closing where I sign on behalf of my clients, and one of the things I noticed during their loan package was the terms of their loan. I usually look at these, but this one really stood out because it was a jumbo loan worth quite amount of money, and it was a 30-year fixed, no points, and can you believe this? It was 2.75 for a 30-year fixed. That's unbelievable. I don't like the term free money because nothing's free, but I don't know when we're ever going to see anything lower than that. The other thing that we're running into big problems are VOEs, which stands for Verification of Employment. We have buyers that their loans are being held up because every time the lender contacts the employer of some of my buyers, the HR people are not in the office, or they're on their cells at home, and lenders cannot call a cell phone. They have to be able to call the main office line. So we have verification of employments that are taking weeks. Some of them are just pushing closings back because they can't get a hold of anybody at all. And it literally is just a normal phone call in normal times, but as we know, these are not normal times. Well, what am I streaming now? We got through Billion Season 4. We're excited about Season 5. We've caught up with Homeland except for the current season, and we just started Silicon Valley, the final season. So let me know what you guys are seeing out there. Hopefully the shelter in place will get lifted sometime in May. I'm not holding my breath, but hopefully everybody's staying safe, and I would love to get your feedback. And I'll be continuing to do these and other things. We just debuted CERS Alumni today, so hopefully you guys are enjoying all these videos and would love some comments. Thank you very much and stay safe.